anyone talking about benching Jared Goff, your problem is you don't know anything about football. Like, if I hear another person call up and mention David Blau, I'm going to step in front of a semi. Like, what are we doing here? Now, Jared Goff may be bad. He is a bad NFL quarterback. Now, he's in a bad situation, and he's bad, and has notably smaller than average NFL hands.
I've heard that.
The point is, this benching thing is hilarious. You don't have a young quarterback. You don't even have a developmental guy. You don't have a Taylor Heineke who you drafted out of nowhere who's at least shown flashes for you. You don't have that. And if you want to know how bad Goff has been, here are the quarterbacks he's surrounded by according to Pro Football Focus. Whether you like PFF, hate PFF, I'm just going to roll this out there. Jimmy Garoppolo, Zach Wilson, Big Ben, Heineke, Davis Mills, Justin Fields. Yeah, that's rookies and guys who don't have jobs. Jared Goff has been terrible. But this is the question, because I'm not wasting time with this whole benching him. Like, benching him's going to do anything. Great, then you got a $30 million guy on the bench who I got to keep around for next year to play David Blau. The day I bench Jared Goff is because I got a guy that can take his job for the next 5 years. David Blau barely completes 50% of his passes in his 5 career starts. Stop with David Blau. But here's my question. And I admit this. I was the captain of the boat. All right, fine. You get Goff. We're going to play him this year. We're going to take a QB in the draft, and we'll bench him by week 8 in year 2. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can take it. He's terrible. And I told you he was terrible, but I mean he's terrible even by those standards. And now, I'm going to tell you right now, I want to make a very sports radio, hot takey, but I believe it, but you may not like it, but I believe it, statement. There is no quarterback worth using the number 1 pick on in this draft. None. And I'm not going to get into the who's and the what's and the when's and the where's and the how's, but if I hear other hosts on this station bring up Matt Corral again, I'm going to smash my head off a toilet seat.
No.
Matt Corral, when the first read isn't open, is gone. Takes off. Matt Corral is just another version of Shea Patterson. And look, Matt Corral's got a big arm, but he plays in a gimmick offense. And again, I'm yet to see Matt Corral read a progression, work the field, manipulate safeties, do the high-end stuff you need to be a number 1 pick. Matt Corral, hike, oops, receiver's not open. Whee!
And then you take off.
I'm out. There is no quarterback we're taking with the number 1 pick. So now I'm in a position where I go, all right, I can't use Jared Goff. He's terrible. I'm not taking a quarterback. All right, well, maybe I trade for one. Here's your problem. Russell Wilson ain't signing off on getting traded to Detroit. You don't have the capital to do it. And Deshaun Watson's probably not signing off on coming here, and I don't know if he'll even be in prison or not. So I don't have a great answer. But I will tell you, staring deep into the abyss of Jared Goff as my quarterback through next year is chilling. Because this is, in the words of Denny Green, he is who we thought he is. Like, this is why the Rams gave up.
What about that second first-round pick?
What about
Would you take a QB, a Carson Strong?
No.
Type of QB?
It just never works. That's the other lie that gets sold to fans. Oh, you don't need to take a QB in the top 5 or top 10. You take one later. Signed Ryan Lauletta. And all the other corpses who go in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Like, yeah, what about Russell Wilson? What about him?
Is that how they sound?
Like, when I hear other radio hosts or newspaper, and I read those words, find a QB in the middle rounds. And I'm like, you're selling a lie. You are selling a lie.
Yeah.
Sign Davis Webb. Like, come on. So I just wanted to know from the people, this whole Jared Goff thing we've gotten ourselves into, are you looking at it the way I am, where I thought there was a way out, but I heard Daniel Jeremiah talk about this the other day, former scout, very intelligent guy. He's not just a guy who does mock drafts with a perm. He has scouted before. Daniel Jeremiah said it. There's no QB we're taking up high.
No.
There's no guy I'm taking a number 1 overall. That doesn't mean quarterbacks won't go. But I'm staring down the barrel of a gun that is Jared Goff for 2 years. And you got people talking about benching him 6 games in. For who? For what?
I don't think people realize how bad this is going to get. Because you're right. There may be an option. There may be an option that only you take one of your picks and you go and get some quarterback on a roster who just wants out. But as far as drafting wise, nah, don't see it.
Like if you could tell me right now I could give up the Rams pick to go get Tua, I'd do it.
Yeah.
He didn't play poorly yesterday. He threw for 300 yards. Played really well.
Yeah, and that's playing for a team that is actively trying to shop him. He
Well,
knows
then-
I don't have
and
any.
again, it's a team that has no running game.
Yeah.
It's a team who all the receivers are hurt. And I've seen Tua twice this year. I was okay with it.
But see, at least if you had that, you could then go into the draft and use all of that capital and say
Something
we're going
else.
to build a team around him.
But I wonder where people are at with it. We're a third of the way through year 1. And I know I'm guilty. I thought, all right, we'll play him this year. You know, you bump
Just
around.
like I thought that this team could stumble into 4 or 5 wins, not realizing that's asking a lot. How about just 4 or 5 halves?